How are we doing, YouTube? Raw Life back with another run of the Edward LC Lufenia. We're doing a TCC challenge this time, so no Synergy and no Terra. We brought Celes, Golbez, and Garland, and we did use a burst, so it's not an extreme, but still. We ran it a couple times, and damage was just a little bit off. So we started out. The strategy here was to get Gabranth call assist up on Celes and let these guys move a little bit up until their 79% threshold. That's when they delay themselves, and you can't let them move at all or they'll kill you. So we took advantage of the Gabranth call for Celes just because her damage, it's a little lacking, and she is able to hit them after every move they make, and it's not adding a lot of damage, but it's adding just a couple percent over the course of the first 15 turns. That was really the tipping point for me on this strategy. But obviously Celes is there for the orb. She can deal with the orb with the ice damage. Garland is going to be delaying these guys. Right now we're not worried that much about delaying them because, like I said, we're going to let them move a little bit and get that chip damage off with Celes and her counters. Oh, there's a sine wave. YouTube, shout out Sine Wave. Check him out on YouTube. But like I said, Garland is going to be delaying big time later. But for now, he's just pouring on the damage. He is hitting weakness because of Celes, of course. Golbez brings his own weakness, and he just hits like a truck. As long as you let him hit weakness, he's just big damage. And he can keep that dark imperil on them for most of the fight. So we had a little bit of debuff issues here, clashing debuffs. Gabranth just brings so many debuffs. I was trying to actually let them drop off of A and B, and as you'll see, unfortunately, B did not lose his debuffs. So we were kind of juggling debuffs a little bit throughout this fight, which is fine. All's well that ends well. Here I was checking those debuffs and thinking, I would really like to get B to drop his frame debuffs so I don't have to worry about debuffs the rest of the fight. Our debuff slots. 8 debuff slots win, by the way. Need that. I need that soon. We are getting to 79%, both of them at the same time, which is perfect. They delay themselves a little bit and get this red aura. Don't let them move. As in my last video, if you let them move right here, you're dead. So here's where we're going to swap out Celes and start stacking BT effects. Ramza, this is Daniel's Ramza. Shout out Daniel. I appreciate it. I really need a Ramza friend for this run because I tried it yesterday with different friends and wasn't really finding much luck. So I wanted to stack Ramza with Garland and just go to work and get them from 79 down to as low as possible, honestly. Ramza's launches also go into the DPS race here. I mean, his launches are just incredible. Batteries the whole party and launches them. So this was the missing piece to my puzzle, and I was glad to get this run done. Garland here, absolutely doing work as he does on his BT. With Rams on the field and Garland on the field and their BT effects active, Golbez still hitting weakness after this BT window's done. Golbez still hitting weakness basically means that everyone's just putting out their absolute maximum damage, and that's what this really turns into here, because I don't have any multiple turn, I couldn't Terra Young this because it's a TCC challenge, but instead of doing multiple turns in a row, I was basically focused on a DPS race. And here you see Ramza sets one up for a launch. Launch is the other one. And so trying to keep each launch or each LD used by Ramza, get one launch on each of them, and just maximize that DPS. Because this one, more than any lately, it was a real damage check. Selling Tifa. Well, we don't have Tifa yet, so thanks a lot, because this really was a slog to deal with. See a lot of people struggling to meet that turn requirement. Remember, the turn requirement of this is 50. So just basically bring heavy DPS or, turn stealers, multiple turn units, lightning, Terra. But so as you see, we've taken them down from 79 to 42 and 47 just within a couple of actual turns. And that's the real super important window here, was the Ramza friend. While the Ramza friend is out on the field, I had to basically get, 70% or 60% of their HP total just during his friend window turn, which, that's a lot to ask. But here is his last turn, and I couldn't use his Innervate because, as I mentioned, I was a little worried about debuff management, and Innervate is a frame debuff, so we actually could not use his EX on his last turn, so we just went ahead and used Shout. And now Celes comes back, checking those debuffs again, and as you see, Dark Resist is on B, and then she puts on her debuffs, obviously. So we're going to be kind of juggling the Dark and the Ice debuff on the B boss, but on the A boss, they can both fit on there. So, it was a little bit of a inconvenient run, but it all worked out. With 14 turns left here, I'm getting a little tight in my chest because, shit, I mean, this last 30% here is just terrible to deal with. These guys get tanky. You don't want to let them move just because, if they break you or do something crazy at the end, could screw your run up. So this was squeaky bum time, as they say. We were a little nervous. And we're kind of going back and forth with B putting on Dark Resist and Ice Resist. And so I'm kind of actually focusing down A with Golbez with his single target, while I focus down B with Celes and Garland. So if you notice, Garland is hitting weakness on B, and Golbez is hitting weakness on A. So kind of just splitting them up at this point. We're getting really close. I'll be honest with you, this was really nerve-wracking down to the wire, as you'll be able to see here. Celes damage is just, she's not there for the damage, obviously, but it is a little tough here at the end. When she gets a turn, you're just like, oh, fuck. So we have 4 turns left and our summon, and they're at 12 and 13. So turns are looking a little sus right now, to be honest with you. But we've got some LDs left in the pocket. Golbez, as you see, just hits for crazy damage. Kind of LD spamming here because we've got to get both of them down ASAP. So Garland with his LD as well. And as you see, it's the full splash. I mean, he's just wrecking. And so 2 summon turns, and we get him down to 1. So time to start focusing on A. He is weak to ice now as well because, like I said, I wasn't worried about his debuffs as much. So we could really just go all in on him. And this is where the nerves kick in. 47 turns, 2% and 1%, which doesn't seem like much, but these guys are tanky, like I said, and it's just you're not hitting as hard as you were earlier in the fight, so it's a little nerve-wracking. Finish him off with Garland, and then boom, Celes. Thank God this is over. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Twitch, and see you next time. Appreciate it.